Hello friends, welcome back to another video. Today we will be doing a paint with me video, obviously. There will also be a Q&A at the end because I reached 3,000 followers on Instagram. Yay! And if you follow me on there, thank you so much for following my art journey, and I really appreciate every like, every comment, every share of my artwork, and I am very happy to be sharing my work with all of you, and I'm very grateful that you like my work. So before we get into the Q&A video, I would like to talk about this spread in my sketchbook. I'm using watercolors, but you'll see me later on using Posca Pens, colored pencils, and fine liners. It's basically a mixed media illustration. The page on the right is sort of inspired by Saren Madison here on YouTube and Instagram. If you don't know who she is, you should go check out her work. It's very pretty, and it's just amazing art, and I highly recommend checking out her work and her YouTube channel. She painted snakes, and it was very beautiful that I kind of wanted to paint snakes as well. The left side of the spread is more of a random doodle and not exactly related to the snake spread on the right. I kind of wanted to make the spread a bit more cohesive by using similar colors on both pages. Of course, they won't look related because they're two different subjects, but I just wanted to fill the spread for this video. So let's get on with the questions. I really hope I pronounce all your names correctly, or at least close to correctly. Animle Art says, "You are beautiful, my friend." Thank you. You are beautiful as well. Abby Mason asks, when you find yourself with no ideas, what's your go-to thing to draw? This is gonna sound silly, but my go-to thing to draw are swatches. I know that sounds so boring, but I like seeing the colors on a page, and I usually do this with watercolors, and I would blend all of my watercolors together in one line or one dab, so I see them bleed with each other, and I find that really beautiful. And it doesn't necessarily spark ideas when I do that, but I like doing it just so I can get some creative energy out. Teal asks, what does your ideal day out look like? Okay, a few years back, my boyfriend and I tried hiking, and at that point I've never hiked before, and it was great. I really liked hiking. So if I would be out for an entire day, I would like to be hiking, and then at the end of the hike there would be a really beautiful view at the top of the mountain. Nuri Arts asks, how to be confident with using paints in your sketchbook? I definitely know the fear of putting in paint and just not liking what you make. I've been pretty comfortable with using my sketchbooks lately that I kind of just don't mind if I ruin the first painting. I guess my advice would be to paint something you're familiar with, something you've painted before. If that still scares you, you can start by painting on the last page of your sketchbook. That way, if you don't like it, it's not the first thing you'll see when you open it up. Confidence in using paints in your sketchbook also comes with getting used to it. Also, remember that sketchbooks are a place for experimenting and not necessarily making pretty things. Syra asks, what do you do on art block days? Okay, on art block days, I generally just let myself experience the art block. But yeah, on art block days, I take a break. I usually do other stuff. I exercise, take a walk, binge a series, watch a new movie, hang out with friends safely, of course. But yeah, I think that art block is your mind's way of telling you that you're creatively exhausted and it's asking you to take a break. So I let myself take a break during art block days. The worst art block I had was, I think, 2017 Inktober, where I wasn't able to draw anything that I liked for 3 months. Yeah, because it was the first time I joined a 30-day challenge, and at that time I also had a day job. So at the end of the day, I worked from 8 a.m. to like 6, 7 p.m. And at the end of the day, I was basically exhausted, but I wanted to push myself for that. I wanted to push myself on that challenge. I wanted to complete that challenge basically. And yeah, the yeah, after that I was exhausted for 3 months. So remember to take breaks. Liz V Art asks, what's your favorite art medium? A similar question also by Nalu Art. What's your favorite material to work with? It's really hard to choose. If you asked me this a year ago, I would say acrylic gouache. But right now, I don't know. I really love watercolors, but I also love gouache. Um, watercolors blah, blah. Watercolors does this blending thing that no other medium does, and gouache is just so opaque and so matte when it's dry that it's so pretty to look at. Yeah, it's hard to choose. Okay, if it's a matter of life and death and I've had to choose one favorite, I'd go with gouache because I can water it down to make it look like watercolors, but I can also use it opaquely. Nalu Art asks, how did you find your art style? I found my art style by practicing. That's so vague, I know. Yeah, basically, I tried a lot of different techniques. I tried realism, I tried being cartoony. Okay, I generally copy other artists to get a feel for their techniques and to study why this certain artwork looks good to me or why shapes go this way or why the color choices look very good. Yeah, but I don't think my style is quite there yet. I don't think it's as cohesive as I want it to be. But I am in a satisfied place with how I use my painting techniques. Artistic Melody asks tips on beginner gouache artists. If I tell you all my tips on gouache, we'd be here all day. Um, this would be a very long video. Quick tips would be use thick paper, practice paint consistency because uh, gouache is best used when it's opaque. It's where the medium shines. And I do find that the most challenging part about using gouache is getting the right consistency paint of the paint and water ratio. I will also link a few tutorials down below on videos that helped me with gouache. So you can check out the description for that. Puppy Gummy asks, what gets you in the mood to paint? Do I have any rituals? Not really. I don't have any rituals. I'm usually in a painting mood when I like my sketches. WPF Pal asks, if you're not doing art, what will be your path like? I think I'd be really good at admin type stuff. Like, I like scheduling things, I like organizing things. I like reminding people that they have this thing that they have to do. Yeah, basically that. If like it's a common job, but if we're talking about big dreams and like out of this world path, I'd like to be an astronaut. That sounds very far-fetched, but like outer space is quite interesting. And I know physically my body cannot take the training of being an astronaut, but studying space, quite fascinating. Um, okay. Syra, again, asks, what's your favorite thing or creature to draw? For creature, I really like drawing birds. I know I don't really draw that all the time, but yeah, I quite enjoy drawing birds. My favorite thing to draw would be houses, and not the complicated kind. I really like drawing the most basic kind of house, like your typical A-framed house and basic rectangle with a chimney on it. Yeah. Also, I like drawing skulls for some reason. I hope it looks like a person asks, I love your art style. Can I use your art as a reference? I actually don't mind people copying my art as long as they don't sell their work and pass it off as their own. Um, yeah, but as a reference and for practice, I really don't mind. How do you decide what you want to draw? All the details in your art are awesome. Usually, I get inspired by a certain image or a thing I saw. Ideas just pop into my head, and I think, okay, this is how I analyze ideas. we creatives or people in general consume a lot of media, and I think our mind sometimes mashes up these ideas when we're trying to remember something, and then sometimes it clicks that, oh, that's a great idea, I want to paint that. And it comes from every other thing that you've seen, and your brain accidentally mashes it up, and then there's a new idea, and you feel like painting that. Um, yeah, so that's my logic behind that. I know it might not make sense, but yeah, sometimes the ideas just come, and sometimes I get inspired by a certain photo or a certain artwork. Book of Banshee asks, want to try making my own stickers, but I don't know what app to use to design them. I generally do my stickers traditionally. I paint them by hand and scan them and edit them in Photoshop. Since you're asking for an app, I know a lot of people use Procreate, Photoshop. If you're using an Android tablet, you can use Sketchbook Pro. Basically, I think you can design stickers with any drawing app. Tyler McLean asks, what got you started in art? I remember I loved drawing as a kid. It was a creative outlet for me. I was also a very shy child, and drawing was a way for me to express myself and be entertained, even though I don't socialize with other children. Yeah, so I was already drawing as a kid, and I do think I was influenced by anime in that time of my life. April asks, how is it trying to run an art business from the Philippines? Are there challenges? The first challenge that comes to mind was when I wanted to open my shop, I couldn't find a proper sticker manufacturer that's near me. Uh, like a manufacturer I can drive to so I can see the quality of their stickers and how well they can print my artwork. Yeah, I live in a tiny island called Bohol. It's not exactly a center for manufacturing stuff, and art stickers are sort of a niche thing to manufacture. So I had to outsource my stickers elsewhere. The second challenge I could think of is that I mostly have international followers. On Instagram, there is this graph thing where you can see where most of your followers come from, or where most of the likes on your like posts come from. So most of my likes and my followers come from the US and the UK. And obviously, if you're running a business, you'd want customers locally. So whenever international shipping goes down, or like it's put on hold, your business would still go. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I'm finding it hard to grow a Filipino following. But I'm trying. So far, those are the only two things I can think of. I've also observed that art businesses, specifically artists who sell stickers, their art style is more on the cutesy side, like extremely cute, chubby cheeks, characters, chibi style, basically. And also a lot of the stickers are geared towards fan art, and I don't really do fan art, nor do I do extremely cute artsy style things. Also, I noticed a lot of artists doing planner and stationery things, which I like those stuff, but I'm not really keen on making them. Last question. April asks, who is your favorite YouTuber and why is it me? First off, yes, April is one of my favorite YouTubers. And second, I don't know if you're asking who's my favorite YouTuber who's not an artist. Because I don't have a I don't really watch non-artist YouTuber. I used to watch Ryan Higa, I think, a few years back, but like I stopped because I don't know, I lost interest. Sometimes I watch PewDiePie. I don't like his gameplays. I can't really relate to games, so I watch the videos where he reacts to stuff, but that's only when have I have no other videos to watch. A YouTube channel that I really like that's not art related is Kurzgesagt. Oh my god. Is that how you pronounce it? I'll put a word on the I'll put it up on the screen so you guys know who I'm talking about. They animate things and they tell you sciencey stuff, and I quite like that. So my favorite art YouTubers, right off the top of my head, Mini Small. I really like her videos. They're very aesthetically pleasing. It's very cinematic, and I love her art. She's actually the one who inspired me to try gouache. Um, Nerd, the very lovely Fran Nerd, uh, Lee Ellickson, For a Little Peach, Drawing with Waffles. So we are at the end of this video. Thank you so much for your questions. I quite enjoyed answering them. I'm really happy I can share my little corner of art with you guys, and I'm really thankful that you appreciate my work. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!